Alright. Today we are watching High School of the Dead Was Wild. Man, I remember back when I was getting into anime in like 2010, 2012, back when I was still perusing stuff that wasn't the big three or like the big like animes at the time. You know, like the classics I watched was like Death Note, Full Metal Alchemist, Brotherhood, Bleach, Dragon Ball, Naruto, One Piece, all those good shows. I remember stumbling upon animes like Oran High School Host Club and like other weird shows that I wasn't used to at the time. And High School of the Dead was one of those shows because like it actually looked like a horror like anime in the beginning, but eventually once you actually get into it, it is not horror. I mean, it's got some disturbing situations, but it is very much not horror. I don't know if it's counted as ichi because it's got like a lot of fan service in it, but man, it was a wild like whiplash of serious and then non-serious stuff. But yeah, this video is by Scamboli Reviews. I've already watched a few of his videos, and so I want to know his opinions on it or just whatever info he wants to give about High School of the Dead.
Zombies in pop culture have been a thing since the 1932 film White Zombie. I wanted to give a funny summary and make fun of it, but I realized that the movie would be in black and white, which means that it's old, which means that it's stupid. But it wasn't until 34 years later that zombies would really take off with Night of the Living Dead. And while it is in black and white, it is also worth reflecting upon. I'm coming for you, pretty white lady. I see you. I found you, bitch! That would be pretty freaky back in the day, so zombies presumably lived in children's nightmares for years to come and fueled the success of movie after movie, video game after video game. Bam, 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 bam. It was like a Isekai but for Americans, gaining more mass every decade. Like Americans. Some of the most recognizable and beloved series ever came from the zombie boom. Resident Evil, Dead Rising, Left 4 Dead, Shaun of the Dead, Walking Dead, dead-ass zombies were and still are the shit. Everybody wanted a slice, especially in the post-2000s where the actual good stuff comes from. So in 2006, some guy who designs board games and some goober who draws
Some goober that draws porn. Man, I hate that the author actually died. Like, it's so sad that he never got to complete his manga before dying. I'm pretty sure there's like one or two arcs of the manga that never got adapted into the anime version of High School of the Dead.
porn have an equally stupid idea. Everybody likes zombies. High school. Edgy. Okay, so we're making a dojo.
So yeah, it is an ecchi. So we're making a doujin.
We give it a story, but don't you make board games? What the fuck?
Wait, High School of the Dead reached 5th. Don't you make board
We
games?
give it a story, but don't you make board games?
Like, I'm kind of confused because he puts Here Comes the Money. Does that mean the board games were making all the money? But then he shows High School of the Dead, so was that making a lot of money?
What the fuck? This is the topic. High School of the Dead is an action horror ecchi show made in 2010 and was a hugely popular show back in the day. So much so that I would reckon most people
Like, all that combining just gives you so much whiplash. Action, horror, and ecchi. Like, the action is supposed to be in the middle, where it's like between the horror parts, you're supposed to like feel good that these guys are fighting off the undead. But then when the boob shots or panty shots come around, you then suddenly kind of feel weird because they were battling the undead, being all serious for a couple of minutes, and now they're not. But yeah, like, look at this art. It looks actually pretty scary. And plus, the first, I think, 2 episodes when they're actually in the high school, that was like pretty intense.
watching this video have seen it before and recall it fondly. I certainly remember liking it, but that was a long time ago. You don't remember shit, I don't remember anything, and even if you haven't seen the show at all, let's go back and take a look at what the 57th most popular show on my anime list was like. High School of the Dead had a pretty metal opening. Zombies are everywhere, stinky cooter in the first minute. This is where you meet Takashi, who was this girl's
Jesus
childhood
Christ.
best friend, but is getting cucked by his male best friend. While Takashi's being all emo on the roof, he sees some zombie shit going down and runs to tell his crush so he can get out of there, but she's all, wah, wah, my aunt doesn't know how to write female. Did she just... No. no, it must have been
He doesn't even stop his friend from hitting his girlfriend.
the wind. So after that, everyone's like, holy shit, he means business. Wow.
We should be okay if we run together, Miss Yuzu. Of course.
This is the most wildest clip ever from this show. I have seen this clip memed on so many times, and it is hilarious every single time.
I will, because you and her BFFs.
Like, I don't understand why she calls her Miss Suzu. Like, I would think they are in the same grade. Like, Miss would be someone older. I guess possibly they could be in different grades.
Damn it, bitch, I said let go!
A pretty major detail of the show is how goofy it is. They can't go more than a minute without flashing panties. The girls stand up and their tits jiggle, point at something, jiggle, strap in a seatbelt, jiggle. Oh, I am just a confused woman. Boing, boing. Yet, the show takes itself so seriously at the same time. The characters fall into fake, deep, introspective monologues constantly, yet it's all very surface-level shit, which makes you think that they're totally going for something more serious, but at the same time...
And as for the living, they just swarm around like bugs looking for
Why?
meat.
There's not even a comedy tag on Mal or Netflix.
Finished airing, just no.
They just swarm
Yeah. I think the entire reason they're naked is because their clothes got dirty in the battle. But it's like they had to have something more than just an apron and just her thong. But yeah, it's also so convenient that the guys didn't get dirty at all. Like, they could be giving them their shirts.
around like bugs looking for
Why?
meat.
There's not even a comedy tag on Mal or...
Damn, it's rated R+. I mean, I guess for the gore and nudity. But you don't even see that much nudity. Also, I forgot, it's made by Madhouse. Like, damn. It went from July 5th, 2010 to September 20. Man, I felt so weird watching this on my family computer. I felt like I had to hide this show anytime the girls came up.
or Netflix. It's like the show doesn't actually know it's being stupid. I like to imagine the author was like, and then I stick the big titty girl on top of the car because I am just a mere board game merchant. This makes sense to me. Fetch me more cranberries. Oh, this fucking guy. Let's get back to the story. The trio attempts to escape the schools, and the only thing separating Takashi from scoring some epic cooch is this chick's boyfriend. So the author has him get bit, and Takashi bashes his brains out, but both the audience and the girl know what's actually up.
You must have hated Hisashi, am I right? Because he was dating me!
No! I'm pretty surprised he didn't just slap her right there. Takashi really likes doing that. Eventually, all our characters meet up. This is Tsundere, Weeb, Edgy Sword Girl, and Chest Meat. Funny thing about Tsundere, she is actually 8 weasels hiding under the skin of a rotten sea witch that are specially trained to be as annoying as possible by human standards. I was initially watching the dub for nostalgic reasons, but soon switched over to the sub because of this thing alone. If you can stomach her, you get this guy who is actually the person I would least trust with a gun.
I was holding back. I was holding back for a long time.
Don't worry about any other male.
The kid that got bullied all throughout high school, who has just had one bad day. Oh my god. God, in retrospect, it's like, yeah, that is actually so bad. And him talking about killing living people.
Characters in High School of the Dead, you live or die based on if you're male or if they didn't put enough effort in your character design. After the gang creates a plan to leave, we get to see how actually pretty nice the art is. Considering that this is 2010, I think they outdid themselves with some of the action. We find out that the zombies are extremely slow, blind, and only respond to sound. Using this knowledge, they run as loudly as possible towards a bus. They might as well have had T1 drug behind them, but oh wait, crazy people! Yeah, can't forget about this crazy man.
Brave students. What do you say, guys?
Yep, he's fucking the shit out of them. We actually watched him.
Jesus Christ, that was so bad of a plot line. That dude was basically having his own kingdom and having like orgies on the bus, deciding who lives, who dies.
Do crazy guy shit. The main girl is saying, hey, maybe we should let this guy on the bus without giving any actual reasons why. But hey, the main character is wearing fingerless gloves. I have no reason to think this man is incapable of making good decisions. He seems well adjusted. Actually, maybe they would be useful in this situation. Where am I? The gang gets perfectly separated from each other because of plot, which leads Takashi and Girl to go on their filler adventure to recap the story so far on episode 4 and pump gas. Oh, what? It's the only black guy on the show. I'm actually... Where was this made again? They meet up with the rest of the group and head to some ultra-safe mansion that they admit is pretty impossible for zombies to get to. And then they're like, no, this isn't safe. And they go to a bigger mansion that's owned by the Sundra's parents, and the author's like,
No, we need a reason why that isn't safe. How about an EMP only in Japan?
and I guess it deactivates car brakes, and I guess the crazy man was driving, so he breaks a barricade and all the zombies walk in, I suppose. Reasonable. Everyone watches the zombies very slowly approach the mansion except for the main cast, who then escapes. The end. Now you may be thinking, scam, couldn't they just move over there and not make noise? Yes, that has always been an option. The show was pretty bad, I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. It was hard enough to retell the story without making you want to watch some other shit, so I just skipped half of it. I will say, I can kind of understand why Baby Scam and so many others made this 57th on my anime list. How many zombie anime were there really back then? As we know, zombies were mad popular around this time, especially to younger people. For a long time, I would sit with my homies and discuss apocalypse plans. I'd monopolize and fortify apartment.
Yeah, I remember that. Like having those conversations with my cousin, being like, what would we do in the apocalypse? It's like try and find somewhere secluded. I mean, that's a pretty good idea. Like basically apartments are already trying to keep people out. It's like just put some more fortifications that could actually kill the zombies, or at least harder fortifications, and that would be pretty good. I mean, the only part is that if anybody dies in their apartment, you would have to figure out which places, because if any of them break out and start attacking people, then you have a full-on infestation.
Complexes we talked about whose house we'll all go to. He was obviously the guy whose dad had all the guns. I'd throw knives and all that shit. I was fucking 16 saying this shit. Like, I had a whole beard, and I can't grow a beard, and I still talk about this. So can you imagine how a decently animated zombie show was to me and a bunch of other young people? Also, boobies. For me, this was pre-hentai. I'd only heard about that in theory, so I lived in this perpetual mode of edging, drifting from ecchi to ecchi. High School of the Dead? There's theory, so I lived in this perpetual mode of edging, drifting from ecchi to ecchi.
Ecchi to ecchi. Yeah, I have never gotten into this phase, but I have just wandered into some of these shows. I haven't watched any of these, but yeah.
High School of the Dead? There's more butthole than a major city in June. It is literally famous for its legendarily retarded scenes like this one that you might have seen.
Legendary.
So, for me personally, I was just here for the jugs and zombies. What else were people watching for? The main character. No one actually bangs another character in anime, especially not 2010 ecchi, so that was awesome. A more notable trait is...
Yeah, I think they actually had sex. I mean, they didn't show it, or they didn't make any sounds or do anything to imply that it happened. The only thing is, I think they came out without their clothes, and they spent the night in this dojo shrine thing. And so it's pretty clear that he probably banged her.
Is another character in anime, especially not 2010 ecchi, so that was awesome. The more notable trait is he doesn't care about anything. Here's a clip after he bangs the sword chick.
Or not, I need
Hey, you're gonna rip it off!
Here's him being romantic.
What's the matter?
I don't know if I should kiss you right now or smack the hell out of you.
He's not joking. The guy is kind of savage. Even in the beginning, he isn't all that shocked about the zombie thing and goes straight to slashing through heads. It's not very often you see a main character who's sure of himself and isn't all that certainly helped it stick out. And I think this is all very strategic. There are certain norms that are important in Japan and to young men in general. For example, on episode 10, the weeb gets told to put away his gun by an older man, and he complies. When asked why he listened to them, he responds, because he's an adult. Later in the episode, he's again pressed for his guns, and while he's not giving them up, he does sit there pathetically without defending himself. And who comes to his side other than the defier of social norms himself, Takashi? Throughout the show, they portray adults as crazy mind-broken idiots that believe themselves to be entirely in the right all the time, while the good guy teenagers are the only ones that have a grip on reality. Mainly, Takashi, the awesome chunk of testosterone you're supposed to look up to. To young people, it can feel like you don't have a voice amongst adults even if you're in the right, especially in Japan where, I believe, you're not really supposed to question people that are older than you, far more than in Western culture. This dweeb is supposed to paint a contrast on a certain type of person, someone who follows most norms, represses their true urges, and doesn't beat women against Takashi, who represents this rebellious edgemaster. Which is why watching the show a little closer made me feel like the author was saying, hey dudes, adults are like, so lame, right? You guys dab? Play Fortnite? I get it, you want teens to buy your book, chill. Get the fucking board game out of my face. Here's what I think. The characters make ridiculous decisions, stuff flat out doesn't make sense.
Jesus Christ, there's a wire!
Holy fuck, string!
The fan service is genuinely annoying to me. I think the show is bad. I think the show is horrible, but engineered to attract young people, which worked. As a kid, you're not looking at this and thinking, damn, that's retarded. You're thinking, I hope Anthony doesn't punch me in the stomach tomorrow because that would suck. Also, whoa! That's about it. I could keep going, but you get the idea. You agree? Do you think it sucked and we only liked it because our brains were full of milk and SpongeBob quotes? Or is the show really awesome? Let me know. But when you do that, just make sure you're doing so securely with bugs. They bite, they squirm, they taste like M&Ms, and best of all, they're free. Oh, I read that wrong. This is sponsored for NordVPN, not bugs. I racked my head for a relatable...
Interesting. That was a pretty good video. But yeah, I have some fond memories of the show, but I know it was not the greatest show. I just remember the art being so, like, good looking in the horrific scenes of the zombies, endless, like, it actually being a scary situation of people kind of acting sort of how you would expect, like everyone panicking in the beginning, like as soon as they hear a zombie outbreak they want to go home, and of course where are the zombies? In the hallways, like in the courtyard. Like how the hell are these people going to get past them? They all just die because they're all being stupid, just running in and not like being actually smart and going different places. As like it's a little hysterical on how some people end up in the situations that they do, like that one teacher who starts ruling over all the other kids, and like somehow it's a good idea to listen to him to have like sex orgies, and considering it's like they're all supposed to be teens and they're all doing it to him too, is like just wild. But yeah, the show was ridiculous. I really wish the author could have finished it, because I wanted to see how the end of it would happen. Like, would they find a cure for it? Would they just kill all the zombies? Or would they have to go to a different place? Would the virus go worldwide? Yeah, many different things that unfortunately will never be resolved. But yeah, anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video by Scamboli Reviews. High School of the Dead was wild. If you guys liked his video, please make sure to subscribe, give him a like, and probably check out the video if you guys want. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed, please make sure to follow me on all my social medias, like my Twitter, my Twitch, my YouTube, my DLive, my TikTok, my Kick, Rumble, Odyssey, and Dailymotion. Make sure to check out my second YouTube channel, and like and comment on all my videos, and even join my Discord. There you can stay up to date with everything I choose to do, where my streams, videos, or anything else. But yeah, I hope to see you guys next time. Bye.